growing together in your relationship. In today's podcast, Cece and I, we're going to talk about some of the things that you can do to ensure that you are growing with each other. So stay tuned.
Hey, Blissful friends, welcome back to another episode. I am your girl, your host, Cece, and I'm joined by my other host, Babe. What's going on?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good.
Hey everybody, this is Will, and thank you for joining us today. If it's your first time tuning into our podcast, it's a weekly podcast where we bring you inspiring, relatable, and relevant content every Saturday. And in this podcast, Cece and I, we talk about
love, life, family, relationship. You guys know what we do here. We're glad to have you here with us today.
Yes, we are glad. And before we get into today's topic, we want to share with you our blissful moment, which is either something that happened to us or something that we did during the week. So what's your blissful moment?
My blissful moment is I actually, the kids went back to school.
Okay.
I don't know if that's blissful.
Well, it changes your routine. I'm sure, now you got to wake up much earlier than usual.
I don't know if that's a blissful moment. I've been drinking my water. That's blissful.
You know what? Let me just say this. I know I've mentioned this in the podcast before. Sister's got some kind of obsession with bottles.
Okay. Where you going with this?
Now that you brought in, you mentioned your water.
Okay.
I just had to mention.
See, my skin is a little bit lighter. I've been drinking my water, y'all.
I've had to start storing some of those bottles away. I feel bad having to throw them away, but she spent some money on them, so we're keeping them. This is what she's been drinking water out of.
And what's your problem? What's your problem?
This is what she's been drinking water out of.
Okay.
I say no more.
What's wrong with it?
Instead of spending all that money in those bottles, all I had to do is buy a container of lemonade, drink the lemonade, and keep the container. That's it.
Listen.
For the last week, that's what she's been drinking out of.
It actually helps me drink more water, and I drink it faster. And then the thing is,
you have a container that's about twice the size of that.
This is my third one for today. So I would have 3 or 4 of these a day, and it's quicker.
Actually, you have 2 containers that are twice the size of that.
I do, but the flow is not the same.
On one podcast, and hopefully I can do it probably next month, I'm going to take all the bottles.
Oh, no, you're not putting my business out there, sir.
Including the Starbucks.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Including the Starbucks cups.
Okay.
She's got a few of those too.
Listen, I'm
going to line them up here. Just so you know that I'm not making this up. We have a real problems with water bottles. We do.
Well.
Anyway, so much for my my rant about.
I just love having my water bottle around. Like, if the one is not available, I just grab this and I need to stop lying. They're all around. I just feel like the flow is easier. Like, you're probably not going to see me with it next week, I'm sure, or next month. Like in the morning when I love having my warm water in the morning. So this is like fill up at night. And then in the morning, I just take a full cup and drink it.
And the thing is not insulated. So I could see why putting water in there, it gets it to room temperature. You can drink it from there.
And
but
you know how much I love drinking room temperature water.
Just don't put your water in the fridge. Use the other bottles. Just leave them uncapped.
No, it's not the same thing. Baby, stop complaining, okay?
Anyway, let's get back into
just be happy I'm drinking water.
I'm happy. I could have saved me a whole lot of money by just getting you these.
Whatever.
But anyway, listen, today we're talking about, opportunity for growth in your relationship. Relationships are always evolving. Every challenges, every high and every lows, it gives you a chance to grow together.
That's right.
Relationships are just not about love and the good times. Yes. Although it's good to have the love, it's good to have the good time. But they're also about facing challenges together and using those moments to build yourself as a stronger couple.
That's right.
And Cece and I, we've had our moments.
We sure did.
Yeah, we have.
Yes, we've had our moments.
And when you're married to someone, they get to see you in your best. and also get to see in your worst.
Yes.
You guys may think that I don't have a worst side, but I do have one, and she could tell you about it. So, in relationship, we experience a number of things. We experience, joy. We experience sadness, crazy emotions, frustrations, happiness, pain. You name it, you experience it.
Yes. Yes.
But I'll tell you, partners in growth-oriented relationship, they aim to go through those difficult moments together and come out different on the other side.
That's so true.
And people like this, they tend to focus on gratitude as well.
Yes, and I think it's important.
You got to look at the positive side of any romantic relationship.
Yes.
And when you approach it with gratitude, both partners can work together to build a healthy relationship while obviously becoming a better person in the process.
Right.
Because as you work on these things to build the relationship, it builds you as a person.
Yes.
So individually, we will inspire each other. And I know we have in the past. As we put our stamp on this world in terms of what we do, we've helped each other become better individuals.
Listen. So, but let's talk about, what do we mean when we say growth in relationship, right?
Progress.
Yes.
I think it's all progress.
Yes, and it's also all about moving forward. And I want to be with a husband, with a man where we both moving forward. I don't want it to be where I'm moving forward and my husband is not. I think it's so important for both of us to push each other forward versus one is lagging. Like, for instance, we have our goals this year. If one is not moving towards their goal, obviously we are encouraging each other.
Oh yeah,
we're supporting each other, especially
calling each other out.
Calling each other out is important. I do learn to not be in my feelings anymore because I want the growth and I want my husband to call me out, and I want the whole, because I want to grow. You're supposed to grow, whether if it's in your business, in your personal life, with your children, in your family. It's important for you to grow in life. You can't stand still.
Yeah, you have to move forward, and
yes,
and that's where, when you mention progress, this is where this really come into play.
Yes, and you learn about each other, becoming better person, better partners, and that's something I truly appreciate about our relationship, because we are growing, we're learning about each other a whole lot, and this is something that's never gonna stop. And I appreciate the way that we supporting each other and we're depending on each other a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's something that a lot of us need to have, a partner where you could feel like, hey, I'm growing, I'm learning, at the same time we're moving forward.
Yeah. And believe me.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It doesn't come easy.
No.
And I know I've said it many times in this podcast. Yes, we come in here, we laugh, we smile, we have a good time.
Yeah.
But when it comes to growing, it's not all fun and game. In fact, some of the biggest opportunities for growth comes when we face some of the challenges we face together. Those tough times, they forced us to look at things differently. It forced us to communicate better. And what that really does, it really puts us in a position to really support each other.
Right.
Because when you face tough time, you can't just go and attack it the same way that you normally know. It forces you to look at things differently. It
truly does. Yes. And at the same time, I truly feel like there's also a way to communicate better with your partner. And I think, when you're going through your struggles, it's great for you to talk and have that support system and let your partner know what you're going through. I mean, obviously we talk about communication a lot on this podcast, and I truly feel like that's how my husband and I, that's how we got to where we are, because we communicate a lot. And sometimes I truly feel like I truly feel like he can say that we communicate too much. And I don't think there's ever
too much.
No, I'd rather communicate a whole lot than not saying much. Okay.
Well, I'll take that.
Yeah.
There used to be a time where she shut down. That doesn't happen. She just let it all out.
What do you call that?
Growth.
There you go. Listen, I want to be the person where every year I am growing. I want to see like a change in me, a change in my view on things, whether if it's life, business, or family. I want to be able to say, you know what, last year I was this way. This year I'm able to hold on a conversation with my husband without crying because it's calling me out. And next year,
no more crying. I think you're grown enough to not have.
No, but you know how you said earlier, baby, emotions get in the way. Our emotional gets all over the place. So therefore we can't help it.
Emotions are liars.
Listen.
So growth can happen in the everyday moments of life. You know, learning how to be more patient or figuring out how to balance your individual needs and the need of your relationship. So, and you gotta allow these moments to happen in your life and find moments to grow in them. Because yes, everything you do, like from the day to day, you can find moments of growth in there. You know, I'll tell you the one thing that I've done. I think I've mentioned this many times in the podcast that she would start telling me something before she's even done with the first sentence. I used to have my answers, right? But now I've learned to listen to the whole thing. Yes, the whole 2 hours of it.
Listen, I don't care if it's 2 or 3 hours because I'm one of those people where whether if it's you or my daughters, when I'm talking, I want to finish my thought. Let me finish say what I got to say, and then you respond. Yes. And this is something that I truly feel like you used to cut me off or shut me down because you haven't been because I said too many times, let me finish my thoughts, sir. It's an ongoing, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight.
Listen, if you're in this and you said you want to grow, you have to be willing to go at it every day. And she is really drinking this water.
I am.
And listen, let's say, you know, embracing opportunity for growth is something that's important.
Right.
You know, in today's world where everything is fast paced.
Microwave.
We live in a microwave world. We want things like this.
Yes.
It's easy to get caught in the day-to-day grind and miss out, you know, little moments that are important.
Whew, I know I have.
You know, one key is being mindful and intentional about your relationship.
That's right.
You can't just go out and kind of let it be. No, you got to make sure whatever you do, you're doing it with intentions.
That's right.
You know, pay attention to what's working.
And
pay attention to what's not.
That's right.
Because if some craziness is not working, you need to be able to say, you know what? That's not working. I should change it. And be open to feedback. Yes, I'd say you have to. And that's something I've learned to just be open to feedback. You know, I can argue anything.
Listen, this man, Lord Jesus.
It's in the family.
Listen, right? We've come a long way, babe. We've come a long way.
I can argue anything.
I'll
say it again, but I don't anymore because I gotta allow myself to get some feedback.
Yeah, him and his brother.
Well, you know,
this is like these two when they going at each other. It's gonna be a long night. You might as well grab your pizza.
No, we don't debate. We just talk about stuff. I mean,
but what we haven't. It's usually hours.
Well, yes, we can talk, but you know, but from a feedback standpoint, where I will argue a point, I don't do that anymore because I believe that there's always room for me to learn something different. So when someone's giving me feedback, I just take it and listen to it. Now that doesn't mean I'm always going to do what you say, but I'm going to listen. Now you do that. Yeah, I'm going to listen. Eventually, I might do what you say if it makes sense. But if my idea is still better, I'm probably still going to do what I'm doing.
And you barely take ideas. Like
I do. Don't say I barely take ideas.
Okay. I know my husband. I'm just saying, you barely do. You barely do.
But I do take feedback. I don't fight feedback. You can say that. I don't. I used to, but not anymore.
You don't like criticism. You don't like when you're being criticized.
Yeah.
You don't like it. You don't like it. We both don't like it. And let's be real, you guys. Sometimes it means you got to face some uncomfortable truth, right?
And this is where, you know, that no one says you're going to sit here and be happy. Oh, I'm being criticized. Let me just take it and smile. No. When someone's telling you that you need to do better, it's never a good feeling, but you have to be able to take it.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is where the growth happens. You have to be able to be open and take it. That doesn't mean you're going to like it.
Yes.
But you got to hear it.
And nothing good happen in comfort. Nothing good happen when it's like, oh my God, I'm so comfortable. It doesn't happen. Well, you got to be uncomfortable. Like, this is the thing. Uncomfortable conversation is always the truth.
Well, yes. Now, some people may have issues. Depends on where you are. Because some people are just...
Like when you hear, I'm going to tell you the truth right now. Would you rather hear the truth or would you rather hear me just like...
Tell me what I want to hear?
Yeah.
Yes, I understand. You know, the truth hurts.
Correct.
Some people just can't handle it.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have you come to me and tell me, babe, you know what, you slacking here and there.
Yeah.
Which you and I, we had this talk, and it's
you know,
very uncomfortable.
We're at a place, I think, where we can handle that. You know,
Yeah.
it may not be the best thing we've heard, you know, in the day, but it's necessary.
Yes, and I don't think it's ever comfortable to hear accountable when your partner is holding you accountable, and you gotta hear them back.
That's why sometimes when you need to be held accountable, you need a third party, someone who's not connected to you emotionally,
An outsider,
someone who will not be sleeping in bed with you, someone who knows that they're just gonna drop it on you.
I can put my mom as this
and let you be. No, I'm talking about someone that has no attachments, no feelings.
A coach
for you. They will just
most likely
lay it out to you.
Yes.
And you deal with it.
Yes.
They won't have to hear about you moaning and groping later about how rough you are. No, they don't have to care about this.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
But it's important to be able to hear the truth and be able to take that feedback and maybe look into yourself. Maybe you're really screwing up on that stuff and you need to change it.
I agree. And I think it's the same way too when you work for a company where you get this evaluation where you know, they have this one-on-one. Thank God I haven't had one of those.
I'm going to do one-on-one
in 5 years.
later this year.
And we've had, actually, as business owners, we do have one every year.
Yes.
We do have that feedback every year.
And
but
I'm not looking forward to mine this year.
You should not be looking forward to yours this year at all.
I got some making up to do.
Listen, maybe you still have time, baby. You know, there's some time.
I got some making up to do.
You have 3 months, so I don't know if all the things you wanted to do.
November, that's when it comes, man. I'm not looking forward to that, but I got to do better. Anyway, you know, feedback is important.
Yes.
And you got to take it. Another thing to remember is that growth isn't just about fixing problems.
True.
You know, it's about celebrating successes, because in your relationship, there are successes.
Yeah.
And build on those success. Mm-hmm. When you and your partner accomplish something together, whether it's a big thing or a small thing, take a moment to recognize it.
Yeah, that's
because when you find you're spending all your time fixing problems, you tend not to notice the good things you've done. So take moments to acknowledge good stuff.
Yes, like when you work through a disagreement and come out stronger on the other side, right? You
win that battle.
You win that battle, yes. Or when you support each other through a tough time. You know, I remember my tough time. I mean, it was crazy. 2019 and 2018, 2019 was the toughest time of my life.
It was rough. It was rough.
And thank God I had my husband. Oh, such a great supporter.
I felt like a superhero.
You were a superhero.
No.
You were, and you still are, babe.
I got to get me a cape. Hopefully they sell them on Amazon.
Why you gotta ruin it? Why you gotta ruin it, babe?
Superheroes have capes.
What kind of cape are you gonna get?
Superman has one.
Okay.
Batman has one.
Okay.
Thor has one.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange has one.
You should get that one instead.
Yeah, that one is a partner.
Slap you around when you're not getting your goals together. We should get you that one.
Yeah.
That one will get you
the one that Doctor Strange wear? Yeah.
Remember that part of the movie where he was like...
the thing was cleaning his face.
No, not that part of the movie. When he was fighting that guy and then he was going to grab the hammer and then the thing was like, no, I want you to grab this instead.
Remember that
part?
Yes.
Yeah.
That cape is a good companion.
You need that cape that can hold you accountable.
If anybody knows where I can get the Doctor Strange cape, let me know.
Go on Amazon. I'm sure they have.
I don't need fake stuff. Amazon, somewhere you can get fake stuff on there. But I need the real stuff.
But yeah.
The one that will fly with me.
Yeah, you need Doctor Strange cape. There we go.
Yeah. So, but you know, support each other. When you support your partner, yes, you become that superhero and be that.
You do. And those moments are gold because they show you how strong your bond is.
Oh, yes.
They show, like, I truly feel like as if it was yesterday when I was going through my moment in 2018, 2019, and how much, you know, like you and I, although my parents were, you know, around, they were like, you know, part of the process as well. But I feel like because we lived together, so therefore it was more so about you and I.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, those moments are very, very emotional. And when you have a partner that's there for you, to support you, that's like you're a superhero, you really feel like, man, I'm glad I have him.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing that we never let get out of the way while we were going through this moment is to keep that constant communication. Communicate.
Yes.
Share what's going on, what's happening, how we're feeling, what we need. And we were in constant communication with each other, and that really helped us grow through that moment together.
Right.
Yes, started earlier in the year and I had to left work, go grab her, and then craziness happened. But never a moment during that year while we were going through this where we got into any argument, where either one of us felt frustrated with what was going on, because we were always upfront with everything that was happening. So that constant communication really helped us stay on top of each other.
Yeah.
And yes, I know we can't say it enough. You got to communicate with your partner, especially in those tough moments.
Yes, you really got to. Communication is the key. We talk about it a lot on this podcast. You know, it's you got to communicate. Okay. Yeah. Communication. You got to communicate with your partner. Yeah. Don't hold things in, because when you do, it's actually going to make more mess, more chaos, right?
Yeah. And one thing Sissy does, she likes to make time to talk. And sometimes she'll make the time while...
Why is it a bad thing?
She makes the time while I'm in the middle of my time. Okay. And she's like, we got to... But I do appreciate it, because if you don't find moments to actually sit together and discuss things, and I'm not talking about the surface level things. I'm talking about deep feelings. You know, the goals.
I don't know where I'll ask them. So how's your business going? Your goals.
Listen, there's been time I'm like, we're going to have this conversation at a different time.
And I'll be like, now it's a different time. Can we talk about it now?
Yes. But it's good to make time for this. Or she'll be like, you know what? We haven't gone out to kind of talk. Let's go out so we can just talk.
I'm a goal freak kind of person. I'm very much like, hey, listen. Yeah, I could be a great business coach, because I'll be all in your business.
Yeah, you've been all in my business.
Well, yes, because you need that.
What you doing?
What you working on?
I'm up early in the morning doing my thing, and there goes she's sneaking in.
I don't sneak in. I just pop in and be like, yo, what are you working on?
She'll come and she'll sit on me just so she can look at the computer screen and see what you do.
I don't be sneaking on you like that, babe. I don't do that.
The Saturday morning, I'm there just going through my thing, and there she goes.
I just mentioned the podcast was
done. but going back to, it's important to make time.
Right.
To have these conversations. And yes, we go out and drop the kids and we just talk stuff. Sometimes she'll just pull me out in the patio. Sometimes I'll be at my desk. Before you know, she's pulling her chair. We're talking stuff. And when we talk like this, when we communicate, when we listen to each other with an open mind and an open heart, it helps us understand where we're coming from. Yeah. It creates an environment where there's no misunderstanding
at all.
Although sometimes she would think that I'm doing something, but that's not communication. It's usually when I'm coming home, she's like, I thought you were getting this. I'm like, you didn't tell me. Yeah. But aside from that, when we have these conversations, it leaves no room for misunderstanding. I could see where she's coming from. And above all, it allows me to be able to empathize with her, especially if she's going to something that I need to be there for her. It allows me to do that. And that's something that's important when we communicate. We do our best to listen to each other and listen to understand, and not just listen to respond. Yeah. And I tell you, that's been a good part of our growth process.
I agree.
Although she doesn't listen to me about buying all these bottles and eventually switching over to I don't know what to call this thing.
A gallon? Is it
a gallon?
Yeah, it's a limited
a limited gallon or a limited container.
Yeah.
While that by itself cost, I think $7. You drink the juice. I think the juice costs more than the bottle. So we should have gone this way before buying all these other bottles. The beauty is you can put levels on there. All you have to do is get a permanent marker and mark it.
Why do I need to do that?
This way you can, I know she had a bottle that has time on it.
Well,
It has
yeah,
9
it's my
o'clock,
workout.
10, 11, 12.
Yes, it's my workout water
So
bottle.
she could track what she's drinking at what time. You could do the same thing with this
I
one.
don't need to because I already know.
Anyway,
You need to leave my water alone. That's what you need to do.
I'm understanding where she's
See,
coming.
it
It's
even
only been
have
a
a-
week, so I haven't quite understand what's behind this whole bottle, but I'm sure
It's
by
only
next
been a
week.
week, baby. It's been 3 weeks I've been drinking out of this.
It's been that long?
Yes. It's been 3 weeks. Yes.
We communicate good. I guess I don't pay attention. I don't pay as much attention to the
To what?
to her drinking container.
You don't need to because it's not yours for you to worry about.
Anyway, I guess I need to grow, not front.
You need to leave that alone. More like focus on your
For
growth.
someone who's always in my business,
Stay in your lane, and then I'll worry about my water bottle over here. Okay. Anyways, so another tip that I want to mention is to one thing that my husband and I would do is we set goals together. And as you mentioned earlier, every year we have a yearly planning, our yearly like what we expect for next year, whether if it's business, personal, or whatever
whatever else.
that needs to be part of the plan. We just literally like have this time where we put the time together and to focus on that because we set our goals together. Like I want to know what you got going on and I want him to know what I got going on. And it's actually a best way for us to see what each other have and where we can help each other out too. Because my husband's great at because I know my strength and I know he knows his strength, and I know where I'm lack of, and I know he knows where he's lack. Like I'm not a technical person at all. Like if I need someone to come and fix something for me, I go to him, and he's more like of a fixer upper kind of guy. Like if my computer or I need some kind of ads running because
I'm
my
the
husband.
tech support guy.
There you go. He's IT, okay, for my business. He's in his business and other people's business because, as you guys know, he's marketing will over here. Marketing genius. That's him. So, yeah, any marketing things that I need, he does that for me. So, therefore, I know that's where his strength is. And he knows that I'm great at planning. I'm great at doing content. So, he'll come to me for that. So, therefore, when we set our goals together, we kind of like see where each other's at. Like your strength is here, so you're going to take care of this. Your strength is that, so you take care of that. Where it balance our
Life, literally.
yeah.
We complement each other.
Yeah.
And in turn, it allows us to grow because we become dependent on each other.
On
for
each
certain
other,
things.
yes. And when you're not doing it, I'm going to call you out. And when he's not doing
But
it.
at the same time, it gives us at least one additional things that we can share,
Right.
especially like we're working on all of our businesses together.
Yeah.
She's very creative.
Yeah.
So when it comes to content, design posts and all that stuff, that's her stuff. But you know what? Open a computer for her and says, hey, listen, fix this. And she can't do nothing. That's the way I come in.
Okay.
I take it apart. I make it as complicated as it can be.
Listen, this is for me to share with y'all. On Tuesday night, did I tell you guys? Tuesday night, my husband and my daughters on the table talking about Apple iPhone and the other phones, and I'm like, y'all really gonna sit here?
Well, I was
and
giving her
having
history lessons about
and
Apple.
having a social study, okay, about
Well, that was
Apple.
social study, you know? It's part
It
of our
was like-
environment.
Really? Right after dinner, you guys, right after dinner, they were like, he was going on and on because that's something that he truly loves. You love talking about computer and all kind of like technology stuff.
Well-
and of course, my oldest was like sitting there listening to her dad.
She wanted to know.
And she was so into it.
I know.
And the little one and I were like really bored out of our mind, wanting this conversation to be like over.
Next time when my
But-
daughter and I wants to have a techie conversation, we're
out.
just gonna leave them be
Take
and
her
we'll go
out.
and have. But you know, she likes technology and she wants to
does.
know stuff. Her little brain is like a sponge; it absorbs everything. You tell her something
does.
once, she remembers it.
She read through a book
Yeah, she's
in 2 days,
Okay,
200 pages,
okay,
300 pages.
She's gifted. But she loves stuff. She loves technical stuff.
She does.
And then she loves
does.
So when she says, hey,
I was like,
I
I'm
want to
over
know
it.
about this. So we have a full-blown conversation about Apple
Listen,
history and all the things they do, the good things they do, the
was
tricky
another guy?
things they do. We had a little history lessons.
Yeah.
And some people it was not technical,
it
thought
was
it was boring,
too
but
much.
we had fun.
Okay. My baby girl and I, we very much alike. We don't want to hear about these technology, these kind of like IT stuff.
Yeah.
So we were like, we just out.
Yeah. But, and this is where my technical skills, she depends on, and I depend on her creativity. So we complement each other. And that gives us a shared purpose
Yes.
to work towards.
Yes.
Because our businesses need both of those things.
Yes.
I need the creativity part. She needs the technical part.
I sure do.
And one thing I want to add is don't forget to be patient.
Yes.
With yourself and also with your partner.
That's right.
Growth
Big
that
deal.
we've been talking about, it doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't happen.
Listen, we've been at this for 14 years. Don't correct me yet. 18. Yes. 18 together, 14 married.
I wasn't going to.
She always corrects me whenever I say that.
I wasn't going to.
So, it doesn't happen overnight. We've been working at it, and I'm sure we'll continue working at it until we die. It's okay if you don't have it all figured out right away.
Yes.
Sometimes some people want, we talked earlier about this microwave life we work in. We want things done in 3 minutes.
Oh my God.
Growth is not that. It's a process.
Yeah.
And you have to allow yourself time to go through the process.
Yeah.
The important things is that you need to commit to the process.
That's right.
With your partner.
Absolutely. And I want to say this, every relationship faces challenges, right? But they can be opportunities for growth. And an example that I want to say is conflict can help you understand each other better. And if you practice and you active listening to your partner and you show empathy, and I think this will be...
Yeah. Why do you think I'm so good? I listen, I show empathy, and we practice. Yeah, that's why I'm so good. But yes, I mean, what Sister mentioned is very important. You have to do those things, especially listening.
Yes.
And you have to do that because the other thing comes right after. Because if you listen, you can understand it. You'll have empathy.
Yes. And I truly understand. I truly feel like, conflict really, 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 really can help you understand each other better. Right? Because you and I, we do have our own little conflict. We do have our own. We have our thing
have
here.
Problems sometimes.
But then it really helps us grow better. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's how we learn. Hey, if I screw up on something and we argue about it, you get pissed. Now I know that this is not the best way to do this. Because that's the consequences of what happened when I do that.
And this is where balance comes.
Well, yes. So we all have needs.
Yes.
And in relationship, that's another big challenge. It's important to pursue your personal goals.
Yes.
Don't ever leave those behind. Your personal goals is important. But at the same time, you have to make sure that you're ensuring your relationship is still given the space and the attention that they need.
Right.
Because you don't want to forget yourself in that relationship. The moment that you do, that's already creating a place or a recipe for disaster. Because you're an individual in a relationship. So yes, your individual goals are important. Again, at the same time, make sure that you're ensuring your relationship still give what it needs.
Yeah.
Supporting each other's ambitions.
Oh,
while you actually building your personal goal, you got to make sure that you're supporting your partner in building theirs.
Yes. Yes.
The worst thing you can do is to think about my goal is the only one that's important and forget yours.
Right.
They're going to hate you. They're going to resent you.
Yeah.
And you don't want that.
I
So
agree.
find ways to support your partner in their goals as well.
Yeah.
Now, there may be some compromise that you do. And obviously, as you plan, understand that some of us may have to compromise.
Yes.
Because in a relationship, sometimes both of you can't be pursuing your life at the same time. One may have to take a step back while this one lift himself. And then when this one gets there, they kind of slow down and help the other one get there. So there will be some compromises. So be willing to do that. But never, never forget that while you have your own goal, your partner has their own.
That's
and
right.
you got to make sure to support them in their journeys as well.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And life has challenges. They come in different ways, in different forms, and you got to be willing to deal with those challenges. Sometimes it could be get a new job, or maybe you move to a different place.
Different city.
Maybe you under a lot of freaking stress, But all these things, they offer you a chance
to grow.
And adapt. Because I think that's one of the greatest abilities we have as human is our ability to fall into an environment or situations, crawl our way around, and then find ways to make the best of it if we're willing to do so.
Right.
And in a relationship, sometimes you have to be willing to adapt or you have to be willing to change.
I agree.
Right? Yes. So remember, growth comes from facing challenges head on, not running away from them, but face them. It's not about avoiding those difficult moments, those difficult situations. No, it's about we see this, it's tough together.
We face it.
We're going to work at it together and we're going to fix it. Maybe we'll not be able to fix it. We may be able to mold ourselves around it and live with it. But it's something we have to do together.
As you were talking, I was thinking about Daniel and those giant, crazy, ugly looking giant lion, waiting for him to
devour him.
Yes, but you know what he did?
He prayed.
He faced his fears. A lot of us, we got to tackle those fears. We got to face them.
Remember, he had God with him.
Well, yes, baby, that's what we do. We have God with us, then we face the fears. If you don't face your fears, you're never going to move forward.
Yeah, you got to pray God.
Okay.
Sometimes you need God to help you.
We need God all the time. Okay? All the time. Here's what I want to say. We need God all the time. We may not be facing it right now, but you got to pray so it doesn't happen.
Hey, faith is important.
Pray.
Faith is important.
Okay? Faith is important everywhere, every aspect of your life. Okay?
But he had God?
We all do. We all do. But he's a believer. Yes. Are you?
Of course.
Okay, so you have God.
Of course.
Okay, then you can say he had God.
But he had God. And it did. And this is what you have to look at in a relationship. You cannot leave God out of it.
You cannot.
When you talk about, grow together, face challenges and so forth, you got to make sure you have God in your relationship.
Yes.
Just like Daniel in the lion's den, he didn't get devoured because God was with him.
And he faced his fears. Yes.
So, and I'll tell you, in our relationship, faith has played a big role in us dealing with many challenges we face. God has a plan for us. Sometimes the plan comes in the form of the greatest challenge. And what you do, you tell God, please give me strength. Let me get through this, or help me get through this, or give me the patience, give me the strength, give me the understanding, whatever you need to get through it with your partner. Because sometimes God's put us through moments to allow us to grow. I've always said this. If we pray God and we ask him to be patient, we don't just wake up the next day and we are patient. No, God puts us in position where we have to develop patience.
He tests you.
If we ask God, hey, listen, I want to be strong.
He will test you.
You don't wake up tomorrow and you become strong. No, God is going to put you in position where we have to develop the strength. So when you face challenges in your relationship, remember to make sure that you give God his place in your relationship.
Yes.
And believe me, as tough as it may get, or as tough as it may be, know that you'll pull through because God is with you.
Yes.
Trust in his plan. Even when things don't make sense. And believe me, there are times things don't make sense. Just know that God is in it with you. As I mentioned earlier, faith has been a big part of our relationship. In fact, I can go to say that it's been a cornerstone of our relationship. It reminds us that we're not alone in this journey. We're not. And there's a bigger purpose for everything we go through. I know earlier I mentioned challenges. God built us by putting us through challenging moments. That's how he helps us get to that higher purpose. So whether it's the good time we're facing or the challenging ones, we know God is guiding us through it.
Yes.
And he's been guiding us through it for the last 18 years. I got it right this time again.
You think you're funny, huh?
I got it right.
Yes, you did. Yes, I definitely agree with you, baby. I definitely agree. Like, faith, you have to put God first in everything that you do, whether if it's family, business, relationship, your partner, whoever you're dating, whoever you want to marry to. God has to be first in every aspect of your life. Don't just say, well, I'm good today. I don't need it. I don't need faith. I don't need God. You can't ever say that. Your relationship needs God. You need to remember that your relationship is part of God's plan too. Okay? You need to lean into that. Of course, my favorite proverb is Proverbs 5 verse 6. You guys know I love my proverbs. Okay? So you got to lean into God. Lean into that and let it be a source of strength and growth for both of you. Mm-hmm. Don't just date anyone. Date someone that you see, this person is my person. This person is who God put together for me.
And listen, we want to encourage you to look for those opportunities for growth in your relationship because they're all around you, in everyday moments and in the big challenges. Mm-hmm. If you look deep enough, you'll find opportunity to grow. So look for those in your own relationship because we've been able to find many in ours. And I'm sure we'll continue to find more.
Yes, we will. Oh, yes, we will. But,
So embrace those moments
embrace.
with open hearts and communicate with each other. And trust that every step you take together is a step towards a stronger relationship. Mm-hmm. And a more loving relationship as well.
Absolutely.
Because I've learned to love Cece more and more. The more hard time we have together, the more we become lovey-dovey.
Yes. Don't get me blushing here, okay?
Listen. Remember,
let's get back to business.
Remember, growth comes from facing challenges head on. It's not about avoiding those difficult moments, but about working together. And I'll tell you from our experience, we've been working together from day one. Mm-hmm. And we made a promise to each other. We'll continue to work together. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, it's our lives, it's our relationship, and we'll continue to work together. Right. So if you can find reasons or opportunities to work together in your relationship, please do so. Because your relationship will benefit from it in the long run. Absolutely. So we thank you all for tuning into the Blissology Podcast today. We hope today's episode inspired you to see the opportunity for growth in your own relationship. Mm-hmm. We'll be back in next Saturday with another episode. I don't know what it'll be about, but you know what? Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with anyone you know.
That's right.
We appreciate it. So please remember to like, share, and again, subscribe.
Yes, and leave us a comment.
Yeah, we appreciate those.
Yes.
We really do.
We do.
So take care, everybody. And remember, your relationship is a journey. Enjoy the ride and keep growing together.
That's right.
Until next time, peace.